Hey everybody, Greg Pruitt here with the Idaho Dispatch, and I am sitting here with Representative Tammy Nichols. Thank you for sitting down with us today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Awesome. So, before we get into the policy questions, can you first just tell people which party you represent, which district, and then what area that district covers?
Okay, so again, I'm Representative Tammy Nichols. I'm from District 11. I'm in the Republican Party, and my district handles the majority of rural Canyon County. So all the little areas like Middleton and Melba, Notice, Wilder, Parma, Greenleaf, Nampa County, Caldwell County. So, yep.
Okay. So, most of last year, and I know part of this year, you've been very concerned with the response or lack of response the legislature has been able to do in regard to the coronavirus. And I know that the emergency order has been a big discussion this year already. There's a number of different proposals that are floating around.
Right.
The governor, as you know, on Friday came out and kind of
attacked
criticized
us.
the legislature, and in the House, he named the House in particular
Yep.
for trying to end the emergency order. So, kind of coming into 2021, what do you hope is your goal that you can accomplish as a legislative body, in regard to coronavirus and any other issue? And then
Sure.
what are you personally trying to work
Okay.
on?
Yeah, so the goal of the legislative body, I think, maintains the same premise that we had during the special session in August, where it was to end the emergency. Now, what we're learning is that ending the emergency is kind of an all-encompassing term. There's both the emergency order that was given by the governor, and then there's also the health orders that have also been put out by the health departments, the health boards. So there is a little bit of misunderstanding going on, is what we're learning. And so we want to make sure that people really understand what it is we're trying to do and end, because now there's the concern about money. And if we end the emergency, does that end the money? And the interesting thing, though, is that it's been really hard to track down exactly how much money we've received and actually how much money has been spent. So there's been a few of us legislators that have been working on tracking that down and trying to get a good idea of what that looks like. And if we end the emergency, what do we actually lose out on, and is our state sovereignty and our freedoms worth that dollar value? So we're working on several different components right now, finding out about the vaccinations, finding out about the National Guard, finding out about the FEMA and the CARES money, and just exactly how does that all transcend into keeping or getting rid of the emergencies. What we do know, though, is that people want to get back to normal. People want to get back to their lives. We have all these unintended consequences that have transpired because of these orders, whether they be from the governor's office or from the health departments. We have an increase in suicide going on, and depression going on, and businesses shutting down, and people losing their jobs, and kids not in school, kids not being able to participate in sports. There's just been all sorts of different things that have transpired because of that. So that is still our concern, and still what we're working towards in getting resolved.
Okay, and so for you personally, do you believe that both the emergency order and the health orders both need to be ended regardless of money ties, or do you believe there's some combination that you're looking into, or where are you at personally?
I believe that they really do need to be ended. I don't see where we need to still be in a state of emergency. The numbers that I have seen so far show that we may, if we ended everything, we may lose out on $15 million, and that's a may. And that does not count within the $8.1 or $8.2 billion that we've already received. That's my understanding. So to me, our state sovereignty, our freedoms, our rights, that sort of thing, are not worth $15 million. And also our children and our grandchildren, is their lives worth putting on hold and not letting them live for $15 million. And I just don't see that is needed. Our numbers have been going down. They continue to go down. The vaccinations or the shots are being rolled out. People are able to start obtaining that. That is not something that we're trying to end. And so I just think we're in this point in time where people just really want to get back to living life and having normal circumstances.
And so how do you, as a legislative body, if you take Ada County for instance, which and Boise City in particular, if you end all of the emergencies and the health orders, is the city of Boise still able to say, restaurants you can only have 50% capacity and you have to do social distancing and mask guidelines? Are they still able to do that, or is the legislature looking to go, across the board, across the state, everybody needs to end what is happening right now, let businesses go back to work?
Right.
Or what is the plan, do you think?
I'm hoping that that is the case, that we're trying to do things to where everything will just end and everything can open back up. Now, could cities determine still what they want to do on an individual city or county basis? Sure, they can, but I think it'll be a lot harder for them to justify those types of actions if everything is lifted. So, Florida did the same thing. They did lift all of their restrictions, but they do still have areas that have put in mandates or requirements. But it has made it a lot harder. And as a result, you might start seeing lawsuits that might start popping up, because if, as a state, everything's lifted and we have taken back the control to the legislative body from the health boards, then I think it makes it harder for them to justify their actions in doing that.
Okay. And so is there anything personally that you are working on that if you want to disclose, you don't have to disclose
Sure,
that
I'll just
now?
tell you just a few things. Some of the things I'm working on is I'm working on a bill that has to do with censorship with big tech, because we know that has become a huge problem, and individuals, certain organizations, certain people in the spotlight have been censored, and so there is not equal censoring going on on social platforms or anything along those lines. So I have one of those. I'm also working on a vaccination choice bill. We're not trying to take away people's rights as far as if they want to get a shot or if they don't want to get a shot. We want to make sure that it's not mandated and that it is a choice. So that is one, and that also takes into account the new vaccine or shot, if you will. And then another one I'm working on co-sponsoring is on sex trafficking. Idaho is a hub for sex trafficking, and it's become quite an issue. And so there's another bill that I'm working on with another representative on that one. So that's just a little taste. And then there's a lot of other great bills that are coming out that I'm helping to co-sponsor on. Some have to do with the policies that we're dealing with the mandates and restrictions, and some have to just do with some cleanup stuff or some preventative. Representative Nate just ran one through one of my committees that had to do with lemonade stands and kids being able to be entrepreneurs without having to worry about having to get permits and taxes and all that sort of stuff. So it gives them that incentive to want to be entrepreneurs and to understand how business works and being able to run their own businesses.
Okay. Awesome. Well, any final message to either the people of Idaho or to the people in your district?
Sure. So today the House passed HCR 2, which had to do with limiting the number of people at events or in gatherings. And so that was passed pretty overwhelmingly in the House. It now goes to the Senate side. So I'm asking everyone to contact your senators and ask them to pass this House concurrent resolution, because we want people to be able to attend their kids' sporting events and to be able to get together and to have a good time. People are not meant to be isolated. They need to have social interaction, and kids need to know that they have support in the things that they're doing. So please contact your senators so that they can hear from you and ask them to support that resolution.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time. We appreciate you sitting down with us.
Absolutely. Thanks.